Emily, are you absolutely sure you're doing okay? I waved you off this morning, but you look so tense. I've been thinking about you all day. Did you manage to get on the train all right? You're not feeling sick from the nerves, are you?
Mom, seriously, I'm fine. I just got on the train like 2 minutes ago. Okay, fine. Yes, I'm nervous. Obviously, I'm nervous. Today, I'm meeting Ryan's parents for the first time. His dad is a doctor. His whole family are doctors. I just don't want to say something weird or do something wrong and embarrass Ryan.
Sweetheart, feeling nervous before a first meeting is completely normal. This is new territory. But remember, if things go well, these people become your family too. So walk in with an open heart, not a wall up.
You really think that's enough?
I have watched you grow into an extraordinary young woman, Emily. I say that not just as your mother, but as someone who has seen you handle genuinely difficult situations. So yes, walk in as yourself. Be warm, be honest, be the Emily I raised. That is more than enough. And honestly, if you walk in pretending to be someone you're not, they'll figure it out eventually anyway. Better they meet the real you from the start.
You're right. Okay, I'm going to stop overthinking it. I'll just be myself and see what happens.
That's my girl. Go get them. And text me when you arrive so I know you got there safe.
I will. Love you, Mom.
Love you more. Now go.
Mom, I'm so sorry to bother you. Can you come get me? I'm completely soaked and I can't get on the train like this.
Soaked? Emily, it hasn't rained today. What is going on? Where are you?
Ryan's dad threw water on me.
He what? He threw water on you? What do you mean? What happened?
I went to their house. At first it was okay. A little stiff, but okay. His dad was pretty intense from the beginning. Very formal. Very much in love with his own family history. Kept talking about their medical legacy going back 3 generations. He seemed to approve of me being a nurse, at least at first. I thought maybe we were getting somewhere.
So what changed? What set him off?
He asked about my family background. The moment I told him it was just the 2 of us growing up, that you raised me on your own, his whole face changed. He said, and I'm quoting here, "A girl from a single-parent household has no business trying to marry into a family of our standing." He said our family was poor trash with no class, and that he would never allow his son to be tied to someone like me. And then he just picked up the water pitcher from the table and poured it over me.
That man poured water on my daughter. Emily, listen to me. You did nothing wrong. Nothing. What he did is beneath contempt. It is not something a person does to another human being under any circumstances. Are you hurt? Did he touch you at all?
He shoved me after I talked back to him.
He shoved you?
I couldn't just stand there and take it, Mom. He started saying that kids from single-parent homes have no discipline, no manners, no education, that you and I were basically worthless. And I just snapped. I told him that my mother works at a university hospital and raised me with more grace and integrity than he could ever understand. I told him his prejudice said everything about him and nothing about us. And he screamed at me to shut up and shoved me out the door.
He put his hands on you.
I'm okay. I'm sitting in the park down the street, just wet and shaky.
Go to the police box on the corner and wait there. I am on my way right now.
Mom, you don't have to.
Emily, corner, now. I'm already grabbing my keys.
Okay, I'm sorry for ruining your evening.
Do not apologize. Not for a single second. I'll be there soon. I love you.
Mom, thank you for last night and for this morning, for actually sitting down with Ryan and hearing him out.
I won't pretend it was easy. My first instinct was to tell him to leave. But he showed up at the crack of dawn, and the first thing he did was get on his knees and apologize. Not to ask for anything, just to say he was sorry and that he should have done more to protect you. That's not nothing. I've met grown adults who couldn't manage that level of accountability.
I was honestly shocked. I've never seen anyone bow that low in person. He was shaking.
He means it. Whatever else is true about that family, that young man is not his father. But I want to be clear with you. If he hadn't come, I would have asked you to end the relationship. I wasn't going to let you marry into a household that treated you that way without someone from that side taking responsibility.
I know. He told me he'd been thinking about coming over all night, and he knew it might not even work. He just felt like he had to try.
It worked. I've given you both my blessing to continue, but I want you to know what that man said to you will not simply be forgotten.
What do you mean?
Actually, I have a question first. Does Ryan know what I do for work? Does his father?
No, I never told Ryan the specifics. You always said you didn't want people treating me differently because of your position, like dating me to get close to you or something.
Smart girl, and you were right to protect that. But here's the thing. That means Gerald Harrison poured water on a woman he thought was just a poor nobody with a single mother. He had no idea who he was actually dealing with.
Mom, what are you planning?
Gerald Harrison called my daughter poor trash. He poured water on her. He put his hands on her, and he insulted the way I raised you and the life we built together. He made those choices thinking there would be no consequences. I am going to show him what consequences look like. And I'm going to do it in the most classless, uneducated, single mother way I know how.
Okay, I'm actually a little scared of you right now.
Good. Now get some rest. Tomorrow, we begin.
What is the meaning of this? I demand an explanation! We had been in discussions about bringing Harrison Medical into your hospital's network, and now your office is telling me those conversations are over? If I've done something to offend you, I'll come and apologize in person immediately. Please, just tell me what I need to do.
Dr. Harrison, I see you have a gift for apologies when it suits you.
I beg your pardon? What does that mean?
It means that we were indeed in discussions. Harrison Medical has been struggling financially for some time now, but it has name recognition in the community and a history worth preserving. On paper, a partnership made sense. But a hospital is only as good as the values of the people running it, and I've had reason to question yours.
I assure you, my commitment to medicine is beyond reproach. Harrison Medical has served this community for decades.
Served it or dominated it. There's a difference. Allow me to properly introduce myself. I am the director of this university hospital. I am also the single mother whose daughter you doused with water and threw out of your house yesterday.
That can't be!
My daughter Emily came to your home yesterday to introduce herself as your son's partner. You insulted her family background. You called us poor and uneducated, and then you physically assaulted her. Effective immediately, all partnership negotiations are terminated. I trust you understand why.
Please, I didn't know. If I had known who she was, I never would have...
And there it is.
What?
You wouldn't have done it if you'd known who she was, which means your problem was never with her behavior. It was with what you thought she was worth. That tells me everything I need to know about your character. We have nothing further to discuss.
Wait, please, I'm begging you. The partnership is critical right now. The hospital needs this.
Goodbye, Dr. Harrison.
Our patient numbers have collapsed. People are canceling appointments left and right. I'm hearing from multiple sources that you've been spreading stories about me. This is slander. This is a coordinated attack on my reputation. What you're doing is illegal. I will sue you for defamation.
Defamation requires false statements. I haven't made any.
You have been deliberately destroying my reputation!
I've been sharing information that was given to me, freely and voluntarily, by people who had direct experiences with you.
What people? Who have you been talking to?
Some months ago, several patients transferred to our hospital from yours. As their new care providers, my team conducted intake assessments, standard procedure. During those assessments, multiple patients independently described experiences that concerned me. Shouting during consultations, being told to stop questioning the doctor, being made to feel stupid for asking about their own diagnoses.
Those patients are liars! They left because they wanted a fancier hospital, not because of anything I did!
10 patients, Dr. Harrison. More than 10 patients, none of whom knew each other, describing nearly identical experiences. That is not a coincidence. That is a pattern. And that's before we get to the nursing staff.
What about the nursing staff?
My daughter is a nurse. Nurses talk to each other. When I asked her to quietly reach out to her professional network and ask whether anyone had worked at Harrison Medical, the stories came back quickly. Your clinic constantly has job openings. Did you know that in the broader medical staffing community, your hospital is known as a place people avoid? Your reviews on staffing platforms are consistently the lowest in this district.
Those reviews are from weak people who couldn't handle a demanding work environment.
Or they're from skilled professionals who refuse to accept being screamed at, blamed for your mistakes, and treated like servants. Your patients say you shouted at them during appointments, dismissed their questions, and made them feel worse after seeing you than before. Your nursing staff say you created a hostile work environment, claimed credit for their work, and blamed them for your errors. That is not a demanding environment. That is an abuse of one.
I will take you to court over this.
You're welcome to try. I have documented testimony from patients and medical professionals. I have recordings. If this goes to a courtroom, everything comes out, and the outcome will not be kind to you.
You are destroying everything my family built!
No, Dr. Harrison, you did that. I'm just making sure the right people know about it.
Mom, you are genuinely terrifying, and I mean that with the highest possible respect. I ran into Mrs. Chen from down the street this morning, and she already knew about the water thing. She was furious on my behalf. How does news travel this fast?
I had some conversations with a few neighbors, just making sure the community was aware that the local doctor running a certain clinic has a habit of treating people badly.
A few conversations? You basically held a town hall.
I simply gave people accurate information and let them draw their own conclusions. Honestly, the story I shared was pretty restrained. A local physician used his position to intimidate a young woman and rejected her based on her family background.
I heard you framed it as him using his medical authority to sabotage the love lives of promising young people. That's more dramatic.
I tailored the framing for different audiences. The medical community heard one version. The neighborhood heard another. Both were true. I just emphasized different elements.
You're kind of diabolical.
I'm strategic. There's a difference. And honestly, a big part of why people cared is because of you. You've spent years saying hello to everyone on the street, helping out at neighborhood events, being the kind of person people actually like. That goodwill is real.
I just said hi to people because you told me to when I was little.
And now those same people are upset on your behalf because you've been kind to them for 20 years. That's not a small thing, Emily.
It feels weird to hear it framed like that, but also good that it helped.
His patient numbers have dropped sharply this week. His clinic was already financially fragile. This is accelerating a process that was already underway.
Is this the end of it then?
Not quite. I have one more thing in mind, and I think it'll work best if it comes from you.
From me? What do you need me to do?
Talk to Ryan. There's something I want to offer him, but he should hear it from you first.
You stole my son! You had no right! Ryan is the future of this family, and you've taken him! Send him back! He belongs here! Harrison Medical needs him!
I didn't take anyone. I offered Ryan a position at our hospital. He accepted. The decision was entirely his.
You approached him when we were vulnerable! That is predatory!
Ryan had been considering leaving for a long time before any of this happened. He told me so himself. He said he'd watched you mistreat patients, belittle staff, and make decisions that were slowly running the clinic into the ground. He was already emotionally done. We simply offered him a better path.
He is my son and my heir!
He is a grown man who made a choice. If you'd given him a hospital worth inheriting, led by someone worth following, perhaps he'd have stayed.
This is not over!
For Ryan, it is. He's made his decision. Please respect it.
Emily, I owe you an apology, a real one. What I did was wrong, and I am ashamed. I understand you have every reason to hate me, but please, if there's any way you could ask your mother to ease up. The hospital is failing. My family is falling apart. I don't know what to do.
Dr. Harrison, you're apologizing to me now because you found out my mother is the director of a university hospital, and because your clinic is collapsing. Not because you poured water on a person, not because you shoved her out of your house, not because you called her family trash. You're apologizing because the tables turned.
I was wrong. I know that now.
What exactly are you apologizing for? The water, the shove, calling my mother an unfit parent, telling me I had no worth because I came from a single-parent household? Because I need to know which part you actually regret, and which part you'd do again if I'd still been just a poor nurse with no connections.
All of it. I regret all of it.
Words are easy, Dr. Harrison. You had years to build a different kind of reputation, years to treat your patients with dignity, years to be a leader worth following, years to be a father your son could be proud of. You didn't do any of that, and now you want me to ask my mother to go easy on you?
I'm desperate. I have nothing left.
You still have the ability to reflect on what you did and why. That's more than some people ever get. But I won't be asking my mother to do anything. What happens next is between you and the choices you made.
Emily, please. This is between me and my son. A parent and child. You shouldn't interfere in that.
Ryan and I are getting married. That makes it my concern too. And I want to say something to you as someone who grew up without a father in the picture. You had a son who respected you and wanted to follow in your footsteps. He told me that. He used to be proud of you. You didn't lose him because of my mother. You lost him because of who you chose to be. And making him watch you treat people the way you did, that hurt him in ways I don't think you ever saw. Don't contact him right now. He needs space. If he decides he wants a relationship with you someday, that will be his choice to make. But you don't get to pressure him into it. Please don't reach out to either of us again.
Dr. Harrison, I understand you've been attempting to find a lawyer willing to file a defamation suit against this hospital. I also understand you've been turned down by everyone you've approached.
How do you know that already?
I told you, this community is tightly connected. Word travels. I want to say something directly to you because I think clarity is more useful at this point than posturing. I did not invent any of the information that circulated about you. Every claim came from real people with real experiences. The reason it spread so quickly and was so readily believed is because your reputation preceded you.
You orchestrated this! Don't pretend you didn't!
I created conditions that allowed the truth to surface. That's different. But I want you to hear something specific. Among the testimonies I have on record, there is one that is particularly serious. A patient, elderly, frail, suffering from what your clinic recorded as a complex chronic condition, was told by you that if she sought care elsewhere, she would likely die without your treatment, and that no other doctor would take her case.
That patient was non-compliant! She refused to follow!
She came to us with a severe respiratory infection that had been mismanaged for months. We treated her. She recovered. She did not have a complex chronic condition. She had a bad case of pneumonia that wasn't being handled correctly. And she was being kept in your clinic through fear.
That is a complete distortion of what happened!
Whether it is or isn't, that claim, along with a dozen others, is documented and would be presented in any legal proceeding you initiated. I am telling you this not as a threat, but as information you deserve to have before making a decision that would end very badly for you.
So you're saying if I sue you, you'll destroy me completely?
I'm saying if you sue me, the truth will come out in full. What happens after that is not in my hands.
Then what am I supposed to do?
That is a question only you can answer, but I'd suggest starting with genuine reflection rather than someone to blame.
Mom, I just saw it. Harrison Medical has officially closed. Is it real?
It's real. It was announced this morning.
I knew it was coming, but seeing it confirmed is, I don't know, strange.
How are you feeling about it?
Honestly, not as satisfied as I expected to. More just sad that it came to this. Like, that clinic could have been something good if he'd been a different person.
That's a generous way to look at it.
I just keep thinking about the patients who depended on it, the staff who worked there. A lot of innocent people got caught in this.
Those patients are being redirected to other facilities. Our hospital has been working with several partner clinics to absorb the overflow and ensure no one loses continuity of care.
I figured you'd have a plan for that. How are we managing on our end? The waiting room has been noticeably fuller lately.
We're managing. It's a strain, but it's workable. Our team is handling it well.
It feels weird to say the hospital is doing well when it's because someone else collapsed.
I understand that feeling, but think of it this way. People who were being mistreated now have options. That matters.
Ryan told me about his parents. The divorce is finalized.
I thought that might happen. She stayed with him through a great deal over the years. When everything started to fall apart publicly, I imagine she finally felt she had permission to leave.
Ryan feels guilty about it even though he knows he shouldn't.
That's normal. He was raised to be loyal to that family. That doesn't disappear overnight.
He's been talking about inviting his mom to the wedding, and actually, that leads to something I wanted to ask you about.
The wedding?
He asked if you'd be okay with the venue they chose. He wants you to have input.
Tell him I'd love to be involved, and tell him I said thank you for asking.
I will. Mom, thank you for everything. I mean it.
Always. That's not something you ever need to thank me for.
Please, I'm begging you, I have nothing left. The hospital is gone. My wife has left. Ryan won't speak to me. I have nowhere to go and no one left. Please, tell me what I can do. I'll do anything. I just want to see my son again. I want to see my wife again. Please.
Dr. Harrison, I hear you, and I want to respond honestly. Whether Ryan or his mother chooses to have a relationship with you is entirely their decision. That is not something I can give you or take away. You'll need to approach them directly on their timeline if and when they're ready.
But you could help! You could say something to Ryan! He respects you!
What Ryan respects is consistency and integrity. If you want to rebuild something with him, you have to demonstrate change over time, not find someone to put in a good word for you.
I have changed! I have nothing left to be arrogant about! I understand now how wrong I was!
I want to say something to you plainly, and I hope you'll actually hear it. Single-parent households do not produce lesser people. There is no correlation between family structure and character, intelligence, or worth. What you believed about people like my daughter and me was ignorant, not just cruel. Ignorant. My daughter is one of the finest nurses at this hospital. She is thoughtful, skilled, and genuinely loved by her patients. She became that person while growing up in the household you called poor trash. And your son, your heir, your legacy, chose to leave you and come here, not because we manipulated him, because he wanted something better.
I know all of that now. I was wrong. I'm so deeply ashamed.
Then carry that shame and let it teach you something. That's the most useful thing you can do with it. I won't be offering you a position here. I won't be facilitating reconciliation on your behalf. What happens next in your life is your responsibility to figure out. This is where my involvement ends. I wish you no further harm, Dr. Harrison, but I'm done. Please don't contact me again. Dr. Gerald Harrison lost everything in the months that followed the closure of Harrison Medical. He was dropped by extended family members who wanted no association with the scandal. The debts from the clinic's collapse, loans, unpaid salaries, unresolved vendor contracts, far exceeded what remained of his personal assets. He sold his home, his car, and what little remained. It wasn't enough. He eventually filed for bankruptcy. Whether he ever rebuilt anything from there, I genuinely don't know. That chapter of my life was closed. As for my family, 1 year after everything unfolded, I stood in a sunlit venue and watched my daughter marry Ryan. He took our family name. Today, he works at our hospital as a director in training. And the trust he has earned from patients and colleagues alike has made me genuinely proud to have him in the building. Emily, meanwhile, has become something of a model for the nursing department. The way she sits with patients, the time she takes, the care she gives. It has not gone unnoticed. She was recently selected as a mentorship lead for new nurses joining the hospital. I watch the two of them every day and think, this is what it was all for. Not the fight, not the consequences we delivered, but this. Two good people growing into something remarkable in a place where they are valued. That is my goal now. To pass on everything I have built to the people who deserve it. They've already proven they're ready.